Morning, everybody, and welcome to Qigong Live Online today. This is the advanced class. So we're going to go back to the concept of grounding again. We're going to talk a little bit more about it because we had a few questions come up about that. So I want to talk about a little bit more about it. But first of all, we'll bow. So roll back on your thumbs. Bring your left hand underneath, right hand on top, two thumbs together. Go on, make a fist with your left hand, cover it with your right. Bring it towards your heart. Then bring the energy down. So, the great grounding story comes back again about trying to understand about this concept of being earthing. Because what often you hear people say, oh, I feel ungrounded. I don't feel like I'm connected. And so part of that will be just a sheer feeling of this disturbance in your energetic field, yeah? And we have this idea that our field's being disturbed somehow. And so Qigong specifies or specifically talks about this concept a lot because it's a very important part of us as an energetic field. So we're an energetic body and we have an energetic body. And this energetic body is connected to the earth through gravity. Now, gravity itself is a bit of a conundrum itself because nobody really knows what it is. And so there's been lots and lots of theories. I think I posted one the other day in the 200-hour teachers training, 11 different theories about what gravity is and how it's actually produced. So it opens up this big door of, and we're talking about in the theories of gravity, we're talking about the time and space continuum, we're talking about, good morning, Mark, we're talking about, I was talking to Mark the other day about this, we're talking about quantum mechanics, we're talking about string theory, we're talking about black holes, we're talking about all these different things that have come into being to try and work out the concept of what this gravitational pull is. And of course, there's Einstein's theory. And so we've had all these different theories. And as I say, they're all theories. So it's an interesting concept to actually discuss or talk about them, all the different ideas of what they think that is. Anyway, one thing is we know if we jump off the ground, we get pulled back down to the earth again. So somebody asked me this story the other day about lightning. And I said, well, let's talk about the energetic like lightning. Because we're like this giant big piece of battery. We're like a wet cell battery. We run by water, but inside our water we have these electrical fields and electrical pathways. So we're all just solid energy. We have a physical form, but we have energetic field as well. So this energetic field is connected to the ground through gravity and it's pulled to the ground, but then everything else in this realm gets pulled to the ground as well. And this idea of the groundingness to it. So we stay with that idea that something's creating the gravity that has this idea that's pulling us down. So then we talk about the lightning, and I think it's really good. So what I'll do is we'll start an exercise. So I'm talking during the exercise, so we're training at the same time I'm chatting about it, because otherwise we can talk about the whole half an hour about this concept. So we'll do an exercise that's really, really profound for grounding, and it's called holding posts. It's from the Zhan Zhuang Qigong. Now, I've got a few exercises. We'll do grounding exercises to do this. We'll talk about the different concept of the grounding while we're doing the exercise. Yeah? So stand with your hands apart this way. Just flip it out to the wide shot. Could go out to the wide shot. Thank you. So stand with our hands like that. Our feet parallel to the front and about 1 foot space out. So I'm going to set this up slightly. 1 foot space apart, it's your shoulder width. Now knees go out slightly out that way and then they go down, so your knees are above your toes. You hold your hands out as though you're holding a wooden post, like a little post in your hand with your hand. You're gripping the top of the post. And you're going to lower the post down to the ground, and then you're going to rise back up again. Yeah? And when you bend down and you lower yourself down, you want to keep your back straight. So I'm going to turn to the side so I'm showing you me. When you lower yourself down, you want to keep straight. Yep. So you want to keep straight like that. What you don't want to do is when you go down and stick your bum out like that. Don't stick your bum out like that. Just tuck your bum underneath and go straight down. And straight back up again. Yep, that way. And that's the idea. And so you'll only be able to go down as far as you can keep between the suppleness of your hips and your knees and all your tendons, how low you can go without sticking your bottom out. When you get down the bottom, tuck your pelvis forward to make it even more straight. And then stand back up again. When you stand at the top, don't straighten your legs, have them slightly bent. So you start with them slightly bent, they go down and bend them more. And then when you come back up, you go back up to a place where they're not straight. It's just before straight. Yep, so we're going from bent knees to bent knees. Good. So you're going to breathe in when you go down. And then breathe out when you stand up. Now, this is a classic exercise. Breathe in when you go down. Breathe out when you stand up. This is a classic exercise for grounding, and it's out of the Zhan Zhuang Qigong. There's a few grounding exercises in the Zhan Zhuang Qigong. It's a very powerful set of exercises, but a lot of it's got to do with this connection to the earth and getting energy from the earth itself. So if we think of, we'll go back to the lightning theory, because I think it's lightning. I think if you want to work out what's happening energetically, there are things in nature that pretty well show you what it is, especially when it comes to chemistry and when it comes to physics. There's certain things that happen that pretty well show you in nature the fundamental part of what we happen as a human being. Yeah. And we're like a tree. We have connection to the ground. We need nutrients, so which we need to eat. They need water, they need nutrients, they need light, trees just like ourselves, and they grow towards the light, and they need the air, and they need the oxygen, and they've taken the opposite to us. They've taken the carbon dioxide and give out the oxygen. We live the opposite way. And so we have this symbiotic symbiosis relationship with each other, where we need them and they need us. Because trees can't grow without the carbon dioxide either, because they need the carbon dioxide. So it's interesting. Good. So you're breathing in when you go down. Breathe out when you come up. Good. We'll actually use that theory, the rocket theory. So when you're breathing in, you feel like you're getting pulled down on the ground. So you're letting gravity pull you down. And as you breathe out, you project energy out through your hands, like thrusters out through your hands, like Iron Man, if you know the Marvel movie. And you're projecting it out through kidney 1 at the same time on your feet. And you're pushing energy out, and it's almost like this. The rockets are coming up and making you come up. And then you come back to land again. You're breathing in, you pull down into the ground, and then the rockets take off as you breathe out. And when you do that, you have this feeling of the body rising by this energy coming out, because the energy is going one way, which make you go the opposite direction. Yeah, that's how thrust works. So you're going down, and the thrust goes down into the ground, and then it pushes you up. Just exactly how a rocket takes off. All the power goes down, and it drives the rocket up. Yeah, that's symbolic. It's not simple understanding of it anyway. Yeah. So we like the idea of that. Good. So now we've talked about lightning. So lightning is a very obvious piece of electricity you can see. You can see a lightning bolt. Now, when you see it, the understanding of how that's created, lightning is created, is this positive and negative charge that happens inside the clouds. And it creates, it builds and builds and builds till it ignites. Yep. And you have the positive on the top and the negative underneath the cloud. And then you have that builds up. And then when it fires, it connects with the positive to the negative part of the bottom of the cloud to the positive part of the earth. And it reconnects to that. So the actual lightning bolt needs to be earthed through the positive connection, which is this similar to like human beings as we're breathing in and breathing out. We need to be earthed till we get power from the earth energetically. So when we talk about the Qigong understanding of that, so we have the idea of yang as heavens connected to our headstring to heaven. And we have the idea we're connected to the earth through our kidney point to the earth being yin of the earth. If we're talking about yin and yang of the earth, the earth's yin and yang's heaven in activity. But when we're talking about power, then we can also see that the earth can be positive as well as negative. Well, you could be yin or yang, it can be yang as well. So if we think of our body doing this exercise, we're doing exercise. The top part of our body being positive, being yang, the bottom part of our body, our feet, is being yin, but our yin wants to connect to the ground because it's attracted to the other polar energy of the ground, which is the positive aspect of the ground. So now we have this idea of they're attracted to each other. We have this heaven and earth between the top of our head and our feet, which is our own positive, and then the top of our head, our positive is attracted to the positive outside of ourselves. So we have this energetic connection to two different sources of power, and our body looking for this connection because it's where it gets its energy from. Same as a lightning bolt. The lightning bolt needs to, when it builds up and discharge, it needs connection to the ground to do the connection so it can actually fire. Yeah, so it actually gets the lightning bolt happens. Or it happens inside the cloud where it just goes from cloud to cloud and it doesn't actually connect to the earth at all. But if it connects to the earth, then it's the energy of the earth, the positive aspect of the earth, sucks it down to the earth. Good. So we use that idea of that concept of that, breathing out, is somehow or other we're getting energy from the ground. We need this connection. Now we know when we have a building or a house or a big building, you need earthing rods to the house. So when you're running electricity through the house, you need to have an earth rod through the house. Otherwise, the electricity starts to do all sorts of crazy things. So the more electricity in the house, the bigger the earth you need. Well, the same thing with our body. The more power we have in our body, the more earth we need to have, more earth we need to establish, the connection to the ground. And the theory in Qigong and in Tai Chi, the bigger the grounding, the more power you can have. So it's not as though it's more power, the more we're connected to heaven, the more power we have. It's a different kind of power. We're talking about the power that comes from the earth. Yep. And we're drawing the positive energy from the earth into our body, and it's connecting with the yang energy, and it's creating positive and negative energy, which creates like the force itself, like we become like a lightning bolt itself without the discharge. We just get to feel that energy without going, without blowing up. Without all of a sudden just going, and we all disappear. So we don't want that. But we're getting the same energetic field. We're building this power inside our body. Now, if anybody gets, I'll give you an example of what that feels like to actually have that power. Bring it going down. I'm doing one more exercise, do one more of that, and then I'll give you another exercise, and I'll talk a little bit more about that power. We're going to do holding trees. So bring your hands up to the front, roll your elbows down, or tree hugging as sometimes it's called, and you hold your hands like that. Sit on your knee, have your legs slightly bent, stand on your front part of your feet, and just relax. And let the whole body's weight just sink. And feel getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and you'll feel your calves start burning, because I've got my knees bent, so I'm standing on my muscles. All the weight's going down, the calves will get heavier and heavier and heavier as you start feeling the weight dragging you down. And you want that feeling, because the more power going down, the more connection to the earth. Yeah. Very good. So back to the lightning bolt theory. So we're the lightning bolt without the discharge. So if there's a thing that happens inside the body, we get body twitches, or what are they called? Jolts. Sometimes I hear them called jolts. That's when the body flinches like that. So most people would have had that in their life sometime or other, where they've actually felt that body twitch. And so there's talked about nerves firing or nerves building up, and then the pressure's released. So if you think it's the lightning bolt thing, is the body's building up lots and lots of power, and the light and the surge, the twitch, is the body releasing that extra power, releasing all that energy. Yeah. And so that's part of it, understanding that. So the body's building up too much power in the body, and the body has to let it go, like it needs to let emotions go as well. So it lets emotions go, lets the power go, and the body twitches. It's symbolic of the body fluctuating that energy out of the body to neutralize the body, because the body's getting too much static energy built up. Stay here. So yeah, so understand that the idea of the power release, or the power surging, it's happening with that release. So if we imagine we're producing all this energy in our body, and we're standing here right now, earthing to the ground, and we have all this energy building. Now, what do we do with it? Of course, we can store that energy. We can store the energy inside our body into our lower dantian. We store it into all the extra vessels, our storage vessels, our battery packs, all the battery alignments inside the body. We store it in the batteries. We store it in the kidneys. We store it in the physical dantian, lower dantian. So we want to harness that all energy, but sometimes you've got too much energy, the body discharges, and you'll get that. It's like when somebody punches, or you have that idea of when you see the Bruce Lee 1-inch punch, where you see him just go bang, and the whole body relaxes. When I do chi punches to show people, to give people an example of what that energy feels like when it's released, you sit there. They do it in Qigong. You'll see it. They're called Fa Jing, and they'll do Qigong movements, and they'll sit there and they go, and all it does is just let the energy just go bang, and it just lets it, and you just release the energy, and it comes out with this huge force. And your muscles have to catch it, otherwise your arm will fly off. And you go bang, and you have this, and you boom, and it just goes like that. And it's like this electrical release. It's like the pads on the defibrillator, when you just defibrillator, when you go bang, and there's this electrical release of power. It's almost the body lets that go. So we have all that power inside us. And the idea, we want to have a lot of power, and we want to do, by doing these exercises, what happens to these exercises when you're holding these postures, we're holding these postures, it keeps building energy in the body. It keeps generating more and more and more power in the body. That's why the Zhan Zhuang Qigong is so good for creating energetic pathways in the body. Yeah? We'll bring your hands down, and I'll show you another one called Flying Eagle. And they're all static postures, and you don't move. Bring your hands to the side, and then just hang on the elbows, and just let the elbows hang like a bird, like a cormorant sitting there drying its wings after it's been fishing. Yep. And just hang from that, and just feel the weight go down your feet again. Now, because we've just done 3 of these exercises in a row, your calves, especially if you've got your knees bent, will be burning. You want them burning because there's a lot of power going through them. And this is just generating power inside the body because all the muscles are working, you're all engaged, they're all working and all achieving. The blood's working flat out because they're under strain. So the energy's going to the muscles because the muscles are engaged and they're working the whole time. And so you're using energy to engage that. So you're producing more energy because the muscles are engaged constantly. You want to be producing more energy. That's the whole idea of it. Yeah. So now we're sitting there with this energetic field and the muscles burning. And now we're producing the energy inside our body. And that's why these exercises cultivate so much chi in the body. Yeah. So now we have this idea now because we're connected to the earth and we're connected inside. Our body's starting to build power up. We're generating energy into our body. And it's stored in our extraordinary vessels, stored in our physical center. Yeah. Very good. And you'll get to the stage where you'll feel like you're over full of energy. Where you'll sit there and you'll take your hands down. Which we'll do now. Bring your hands down slowly so you can feel what it feels like. And when you come down slowly like that, now you can feel your body. You feel your body. You can straighten your legs if you like, or bleed and bend. But now you can feel all this power inside your body. Power in your arms. Your arms are all swollen up. My legs are swollen up. The whole body's swollen up with energy. And so you feel that. And anytime you just know, you can just go, oh, and you can just let it go. There's this power. It sits like this big spring. Just being pushed down, pushed down, pushed down, pushed down, big spring. And you just compress it, and you feel like that's inside your body energetically. And that's the power. And the discharge, of course, is the lightning bolt when it just fires. Well, we don't want the lightning bolt because if we did the lightning bolt, we no longer exist anymore because we'll just neutralize ourselves. We won't be here anymore. But the energy of that, we're still creating it. And unless it's not the same as lightning because lightning has a really, really high amperage of how much power is in a lightning bolt. We don't have that much in our body. We can't. Otherwise, we would dissolve. But our body's worked out how much it can have, but we can have a lot more. We can have a lot more energy in our body than we realize. A lot more power. Not necessarily power makes you run fast. I just mean energy inside the body. And Qigong brings lots of power, lots of vitality inside the body to get the maximum amount of wattage that our body can hold. And so we have this energy of this feeling of vitality all day. We've got this big spring thing. Feel like we've got this spring, walk around, you just any day, you just explode into power. In a moment, you could just sprint somewhere and start running because you feel like that. You have all this burn up in. But if you don't have that, of course, do some Qigong and build it up because that's what creates it. Otherwise, you can just feel tired. If you don't get enough sleep at night, sorry, something stuck in my throat. If you don't get enough sleep at night, then of course the body gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And if you're not eating good food, the body gets tighter and tighter and tighter. So if you have good food, plenty of sleep, and you do Qigong, then you just have this huge amounts of power inside your body and you just feel good all day. And when you've got that much power, you can just do anything you want with that. It's just an extraordinary experience. I can't encourage you enough. And it comes from doing these exercises, the 2 of them, holding the trees, holding the post, from tree hugging, doing the second exercise, which we did that one. Yeah. And then the last one, flying eagle, which was that one. And you can stand in these postures and hold these postures for 5 minutes every day and you will increase the energy inside your body. But remembering what we're doing is by connecting to the earth, by having that gravitational connection between our physical form and the earth is creating more power in our body. And because our legs, we've got our knees bent and we're standing on our muscles and our muscles are engaged, the muscles are asking for energy because they're working the whole time. It'd be like going to the gym. You keep working your arms. You just keep wanting more energy for your arm because you can't do that unless you've got power to do that. So it keeps generating more power. The thing is, what happens is, of course, you keep doing this so long and you run out of power. You run out of power in the body to do it. But when you're standing on your legs and you've got them slightly bent and you engage the muscles, the body starts getting energy from the ground to fund the legs. It's not coming from what you ate or the breathing. Now it's actually drawing energy from the ground into your body to fund the muscle movement. To fund the power in your legs, it's drawing it up from the ground. That's why you feel this huge heaviness, because as it's going down, it's been drawn down, but all the energy is being pulled up from the ground into your legs, and you've had this concertina sort of effect where you feel like you're getting pulled down, but energy is coming up. And then when you walk after that, you feel light because you have all this power. Yep. Hopefully that'll give you, probably made you more confused about energy, but at least you understand the principle of Qigong, just what it's working, creating energetics from a positive and negative idea, and it's drawing energy from outside of itself to fund the power of our battery, to keep charging our batteries beside the power we get from the food and beside the power we get from the oxygen. We're also getting it from outside, and we're getting it from the earth we stand on, and we're getting it from the air around us, the yang of the earth, and we're drawing energy from that to keep our battery charged. It's a phenomenal thing. Whoever created this, extraordinary, created the concept of this life in this physical form, in this world, with this energetic connections and things. It's just very, very clever, whoever worked that out, and how we can have this experience of life and consciousness through this world, through this body into the world. Very, very, very cool. I thank whoever did that. I enjoyed my experience. Have a beautiful day, everybody. We'll just bow out to the class. If you have any questions about this, please ask it. Conjures up all sorts of thoughts about reality. I love it that most of the things in our world and the human world, we have no idea how it works. That simple thing like gravity. We don't understand so many different things. We don't understand the concept of time. We don't understand half the way the body works. Most of the physiology and anatomy of the body, we have no idea how it works. We just got these theories on how it works. We don't know. And so it's just phenomenal that we've got to this stage in our development as human beings, and half the things that we work, we don't even know where our thoughts come from, or how a memory is stored, or how you can just draw a memory from out of nowhere and remember something. How we can have the power inside our body. Nobody knows. We just have theories about what we think it is. I love it that we don't know. We have ideas, but I think it's great. And I think there's more than just that. The whole consciousness of who we are as a soul, walking on this planet, and where that comes from, and where we came from, and how this happens. I'm not sure we all know about that one either. But it's fun anyway. Whatever's going on, it's a great place to be. And for some people in the world, it's quite hard, and I understand that. But I think there's a place in our life where we make choices. And even inside the hardship, sometimes we can make choices to make it even better inside the hardness. Even a little bit better, just by making a different choice. Roll back on your thumbs. You tend to knees right on the top. Cool. Fist with the left hand, come with the right. Bring it towards your heart. My heart goes out today after saying that. My heart goes out to all the people in the world that's the life's difficult today in the world. And things are not easy in the world, and not easy what's happening to them, around them, and everything else. In my heart, my prayers go to all these people in the world to give them some sort of comfort in their lives as a human being. Cheers.